Okay, we are going to look into subnetting for network. Okay, and basically the word subnet actually means subnetwork or subset of the network. Right, and then of course if it's a process, then you add the ing at the back. Okay, so this basically means you take a network and you break it up into a lot of small little networks. Okay, so that's why it's called subnetwork. But the question here is, why do this? Why take the trouble to take a large network and break it up? Why can't I just work with one network? All right, one big network. Okay, so here's a few answer to this. Okay, firstly, all right, if you have sub networking, right, if you do a lot of sub network, you actually reduce the network traffic. Okay, because we know how the router actually work. Okay, so if you are just communicating within the so-called local subnetwork, okay, and the communication do not need to go to the other subnetwork, then is isolated. Right, so the network, the packet don't flow through the router. All right, and it's similar when you create a broadcast domain. We don't like broadcast because broadcast eat up a lot of bandwidth unnecessarily. Okay, so the more broadcast domain you create, the smaller it becomes. All right, and of course the smaller it becomes, which means you are localizing the broadcast. All right, and of course this translate also to less network traffic. Okay. Other areas includes, of course, you will have better performance in terms of speed. Okay. Well, of course, if you have less network traffic, less congestion, higher speed, right? And of course, for network administrative, okay, and troubleshooting, okay, this is good, right? Because smaller network are easier to manage and easier to troubleshoot than large network. Okay, because big things are always very tricky. You do not know where the problem actually is. All right. And if you are looking at large geographical distance, then we also realize that you have uh, slower link, okay, especially when you deal with wide area network, and they are definitely far more expensive. All right, so instead of going for wide area network, maybe it might be a good idea to connect small network together, right, as a approach, right, to solve these slow wide area network methods.